Dude, do you see this? Do you see this behind me? I didn't realize that until just now. I got this pink pony behind me. We should like play Pink Pony Club right here. Anyway, why are you going special agent on me?
I'm Hollywood.
Oh, I forgot. People know you now. Hollywood Tyler.
I can't even drink out of regular cups. Look at this. Gold. Like my
Meanwhile,
personality.
just absolutely stunning.
Okay, I'm going to take my son's glasses off now. Can't see.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. Kayfabe Marks Podcast. My name's Adam.
I'm Tyler.
That is Tyler.
Hollywood.
Hollywood Tyler. I was thinking about our entrance music today because I was driving back home from work, and so you and like a few people that have listened to this, especially that Sharon Peters, whoever that is, knows that I used to sell Sirius XM and loved it, and I use the product myself all the time. Well, I was listening to Turbo today, and it's like 90s and 2000s hard rock. It's all it is. And it just transported me back to like a simpler time. Like it was just so easy back then. It felt like every song. I mean, first of all, every song is like Disturbed, Stained, Slipknot, and System of a Down on like repeat. Sometimes I throw in like Avenged Sevenfold every now and again. POD. But that's it. Like it's just the repeat of these same bands that we love. But it just reminded me, like it was like, oh god, I used to just listen to this and not have to worry about like going to work. So.
Dude, do you remember I used to go up? Who was the guy above you?
Josh.
It was Josh? He's the one that I used to go up and like I'd hand him $1 and be like, "Can you put rock on, please?" Because it'd always be like hip hop or whatever techno music that Aloha and what was her name? Mary?
Yeah.
Macy. Aloha and Macy would be dancing, and I was like, I can't take this shit anymore. I'd go up and I'd give him $1. I'd be like, about $2 if you put the metal station on, but he never would. Just the rock station.
That's gotta be Josh. He was like, but he was only there part of the time though. So
black hair,
real skinny,
tall,
guy?
decent build.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
like 40 something.
He was a runner. Yeah.
Yep. That's the guy.
Yep, Josh. All right, yeah, I love Josh. Josh. I don't know if you ever come across this, but you're the man, dude. He was a good guy.
Yeah. He was a good time.
Yeah.
To work for. I haven't had many bosses that I cared for at all. I think it's pretty much you, my dad, Josh. That's the list. The whole list.
My boss now, super awesome. That's why I won't send her this link to the podcast. Super awesome. probably like top 2 bosses I've ever worked for, and the only one competing is Josh. Like that dude was awesome. So, all right. I hope I don't have some boss out there listening to this who's like, well, now they're gonna have 19 listeners.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now. I hope my former bosses are listening to this right now.
Yeah, that's a different situation.
But I like to ruffle feathers, so
we could call it that.
Just ask the people I work with now.
Hollywood. All right.
Before we start, we're skipping the reviews today. There's just a lot of juicy news that we got, and then we're gonna have a countdown for you at the end. But before I do anything,
Can I just say, though, I don't subscribe to the usage of the word juicy in almost any situation. I just don't think I don't like it.
Well, what would you call it? Like, we got some fat news?
Yeah, let's go with that. That at least, thick news. Thick 2 C's is fine. It's just the juicy just bothers me. Even juicy oozy, that bothered me. You know? It was weird.
No. We got some moist news.
I would take it. I would take that over juicy any day of the week. It's just such a weird word.
Something tells me the second I said moist, somebody named Trinity probably like clinched up a little bit. I don't know. Somewhere there's a clinch.
Maybe that'll be the title of the episode. Episode 21. Moist news. And,
oh my god.
Moist news and Big Guys Countdown. Big beefy guy slapping meat.
Oh my god, just wait till you see what I named the frickin' countdown. But, all right, business first. I did go to, the fuck is, Winehouse?
I didn't go.
Damn it, why am I spacing on the name all of a sudden? I got too excited. I believe it's Winehouse in Fountain City. And I was actually given a shot in there of Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select barrel pick by John Ekberg. And that was like one of the smoothest shots. So instead of giving me a shot to do on the pod, we just had a shot there in the liquor store, which was pretty cool. And I also, that's legal. That's got to be legal.
It is. John, it's fine. John loves you. John loves you if he gave you that shot. That's a good shot. That's a really good shot.
Really good shot.
John, I'd also like to be your friend. So I'll come visit you someday. Because I like free shots too, and it is legal, at least in Illinois. I don't know about you guys up there.
It's gotta be, because
I don't know. You guys don't even sell stuff on Sundays, so.
No, we do now, but it closes at like 3. You can get it from like noon to 3.
Oh well, then they definitely let you take shots at grocery stores. Then that's fine.
All right, and then, God forgive me, but this new generation of people that like the one that I'm like a decade older than and a little bit less maybe, they have some crazy names. We got Creighton, Jack, which Jack seems pretty old school classic. Yeah. We had what was the girl's name again? Now I'm spacing on her name.
We're having a real rough go at it with these names today.
Jaden. No, I'm not. Jaden, which it was spelled kind of funny. And now the new kid at MGM, Declan, decided that, and he's actually roommates with Jack, so it was pretty cool to meet him, and I got to bullshit with Jack a little bit. He picked me out 2 shots, and I don't know if I'm going to like him or not yet.
You have to do 2?
I had him pick out 2. I'm going to do 1, and then we'll see how I'm feeling after.
All right. So I haven't picked out any new stuff, but I figured I'd revisit an old friend.
Yeah. God, I'm going to...
We're going to do that full bore.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this goes out to Declan. Full bore.
So Declan, espresso coffee, 99 proof.
Oh, okay.
That's the name. It's not 99 proof. It's 49 point fucking. Is that 99? No.
Yeah.
89. Is that 90? That's fucking 99. I get it now. Neat name.
Hey, that is what we call an epiphany, friends. That's what just happened. Tyler has just, right before your eyes, transformed into a whole new butterfly, folks.
Math is fucking hard. That's all I'm saying. And I'm just going to bring this up real quick. Trinity and Gunner were supposed to pick both of our shots. They both forgot. So their homework this week, they have until Sunday, really Saturday. You need to pick our shots and have Gunner send me a message or email the pod or something.
Yeah.
We need to know what it is because I had to call in reinforcements and backup at MGM on this one.
Yeah, and I am willing to go and get whatever. You just gotta let me know. I'm gonna go get it. And even if I gotta buy a whole bottle because I like to drink stuff. So, all right, here we go. This one, this is you said Trinity and who? Who has to do homework?
Gunner.
Trinity, my kind of people. Trinity and Gunner. This is for you guys. Please do your homework, so I don't have to do another jalapeno peanut butter shot. Please.
I know. How much do you want to bet they're holding hands right now?
Oh, probably. Oh, shit. Can we, this is tough to think about right now why that's going on, but could we give them like one of those, like, hey, you're going to be okay. Could we, could we give Trinity and Gunner like one of those like celebrity names, like Trunner or Grinity?
Grinity. I like Grinity.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to call him Grinity going forward. Grinity, that was for you and I.
Oh. God damn it. Piss balls.
Okay.
Ugh. That was one of the worst shots I've ever had, and I've had tequila.
I didn't expect that to be the case for you, but I am really happy that you now have to do the majority of the talking. So
Wonderful.
carry on. Yes, I am here for that.
Okay.
Someday I'll grow up and I won't actually do shots. But
it's never gonna happen.
It won't happen.
Dave Meltzer says regarding Seth Rollins replacing CM Punk at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, he claims it wasn't a significant change to anything or for anything. So I don't know. It's probably because most of Saudi shows are non-canon for the most part. So why would it matter?
I have never seen somebody report on nothing so often in my entire life. That man literally just said, hey, here's some news that I'm going to create. Now, that news that I just created doesn't mean anything. Nope, there's nothing to it.
Nothing.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this week, Tyler. I'm not doing this with this.
I think you're gonna do it about 4 more times.
No, I'm not doing it with this man this week. Okay, so just go ahead. You say just we'll get to the next Dave Meltzer one in a minute, but I'm not doing it.
All right. Fightful says Bronson Reed joining Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman was a late decision as original plans didn't include another member, which I believe I had initially reported on weeks ago. But then we started feeling like it really needed a third member, and we started guessing.
It was.
So I think the third member was the right way to go.
I agree with you. I think you reported it, and like the next night it came out that it kind of made sense that we were going to get a third dude. Like it just kind of felt that way. I still don't understand the Bronson Reed edition. I will say that entrance they had last night was pretty dope. I mean, it was the best thing they can do to show us, one, this isn't a real faction because they don't have a name, they don't have a group entrance, and they don't all share some kind of equal fitting in the group. This is Rollins with his she service, right? Yep. This is Rollins and his goons. That's all this is. So I thought they did that pretty well by separating them, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it very much is a different take on the Monday Night Messiah version of Seth Rollins.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what Sammy was talking about last night when he goes, if Seth Rollins wins that Money in the Bank, this is going to be a very different WWE that you and I will not like.
Yeah.
So, if you couldn't tell from SmackDown, Fightful Select confirms Chelsea Green's broken nose is legit, but she is not expected to miss any TV time. However, it was described as a clean break. But yeah, dude, she double black eyed the whole nine.
Oh, that thing was nasty. Kudos to her though, because I thought she'd wear that mask the whole time. Like props, taking off that mask and being like, "Look at this broken nose." She just continues to do awesome stuff. I really like Chelsea Green. So.
Oh, she's killing it.
Yeah.
Everything she does. I had another Chelsea Green news. I'm trying to find it.
That nose was gnarly though. That was gnarly.
Yeah, Chelsea Green immediately started filming WWE content after she broke her nose at Saturday night's main event, which impressed people in the company's backstage with how she handled the situation. So, complete professional, broken nose all over the place. Is she going to see the doctor? No. She's going to go film some vignettes.
I mean, I wanted to go see the doctor first, but you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to go get taken care of. I really get frustrated by that whole, like, notion of, like, oh, you worked when you were half dead, so you're a better person. It's like, no, just apologize to me that I had to work when I was half dead.
Yeah.
They should apologize to Chelsea Green that she has to work with a broken nose. Not congratulate her for doing it. Like, man, sorry we're putting you through this. And like, because they did it. They chose to still go through with it. They could have been like, hey, Chelsea got a broken nose. Go to the doctor. We'll film this stuff later. From
what I've seen, she pushed. She pushed for it.
I'm sure she did. But to be in that culture, you have to do that. And it's just unfortunate that she feels she has to do that. Anybody feels they have to do that. Like, you should be able to go get your shit taken care of without feeling like you're going to get our truth. We'll talk about it later.
Great visual, though. It was a great visual. In those,
it was. No. I was phenomenal job. She's amazing. I won't take anything away from her. I always hate the conditions that people feel like they have to put themselves through. It just sucks.
All right, the one, and it's spelled WON. If I have to fucking whatever, says there was a talk of using JC Matanza for Jeff Cobb's new WWE name as an inside reference to Lucha Underground, but apparently he hated it, and they ended up going with JC Mateo.
I don't understand why that's the one he liked. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't get it either.
He has a name. Other people have their name. Why can't he just have? It just doesn't.
I don't know. I have a micro brawler of Jeff Cobb in my collection. Yeah. He's wearing the same gear that he's wearing now.
Yeah,
it's like he didn't even have to change his gear.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It just let him be Jeff Cobb. Like, it doesn't make sense. Unless there was some kind of like backroom thing where they couldn't use that name yet. Maybe they'll use it when he breaks free of this, but
Well, and maybe he wanted to change his name in a fresh start.
That's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't ever think about that. Yeah, that's fair.
Ace Austin, whose TNA contract is expiring, was offered a new deal, but turned it down to, in quotations, get into a bigger company. Kind of a middle finger to TNA for lifting you off the ground, but I get it. If you got the skill.
That's not the way to go about it. I just,
I wouldn't have said it. I would not have said I'm not going to sign it because I'm going to go somewhere bigger. TNA is pretty damn big.
Well, the somewhere bigger, the biggest, is hooked up with TNA. So I don't see why you would think that you're any better than that opportunity. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, the grass sometimes is greener, so maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Dipshit Dave Meltzer said he believes Bronson Reed was added to Seth Rollins' group to take pins in the group instead of Rollins or Breaker taking losses in multi-man matches.
All right, I'm not going to shit on him for this one, right? Because at least it's like maybe an original thought. It's a thought. It's wrong. I don't think that's correct because I don't think anybody's taken very many pins in that group.
That's stupid because if, at me personally, I put Bronson Reed just a hair above Braun Breaker, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they're probably looking at he was that Intercontinental title holder for so long. He did such a great job. He's the next up. So I definitely get they don't want to tarnish him or Seth.
I'm not saying skill wise or anything else. I'm just saying monster wise. You're going to have the bigger monster take the pins. I don't get that. If you were going to have somebody join this faction or group, wouldn't you have it be somebody a little more Orange Cassidy-ish, a little more smaller, man, and then he gets pinned? Why are you picking a monster and that's who you're going to get pinned? That's why I think Dave Meltzer's an idiot. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, he definitely is an idiot. I think he's wrong for a different reason. I agree that he's wrong because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're taking many pins. This is not a team that's going to take L's. It's just
no.
And that's why they're not going to throw a title in anybody's face right away. I hope not. I hope they don't bloodline this and throw titles at everybody right away. But I don't think this group is taking many L's going forward. So I don't know that anybody in the group is necessarily set up to take a pin.
No, it makes no sense. This is another one of Dave Meltzer just going, I think I just had a good idea. And then says it, and it's fucking not.
The more I talk myself out of the delusion that he's not an idiot. But
no, I think Dave Meltzer wipes before he shits. That's what I think. That's how fucking smart he is.
I honestly, I don't know that I give him that much credit. So, but I do think that he was added to the group to be the younger guy, to be the Randy Orton of the group. But they're both monsters. It's AOP with their own identities,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
All right.
I feel like I say that at the end of all of your stories. We'll see what happens.
You do.
Like a tagline to go.
PW Insider says WWE held a mandatory Zoom call with all contracted wrestlers to talk about platelet-rich plasma and stem cell therapy in what was described as an informational session designed to help wrestlers make educated decisions managing injuries and long-term health.
I don't know enough about it.
I think that's cool that WWE is taking that for me, and they've been fucking up a lot lately, and we'll get to it. Mm-hmm. But this is cool for me to hear that the company is not only are they doing less dates now, thanks TKO, but in your injuries, don't work hurt. Here are a couple different things that you can do to heal faster, heal healthier, live longer. We know the wrestling business has our guys dying at fucking 45, 50 years old since ever. Sometimes a lot that are way younger than that even, but we've noticed that it's gotten a lot better, and this has to have something to do with it, and it's WWE trying to spread the word that, hey, this is better for your health, period, and we're going to make you listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, literally 3 stories ago, I talked about how I want them to be better about stuff with, like, Chelsea Green. So, I mean, if this is a push to help people be healthier, and it's truly a push to help them be healthier, and not a way to get them brought back sooner, and again with other issues, but if it's a true push to let your group be healthy, awesome.
All right, the next news. This is 26 appearances and 26 different shirts. 7-star FTR. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. No, I think I wore this a couple weeks ago. I don't know. It's Braun. I had to
Braun. Bad? I'm 26 shirts in, and I'm just almost done with the first of 4 drawers.
Etta helped me pick this out, if that means anything. But in honor of, so I had a couple choices, right? I had like the sleeveless AOP that I cut off the sleeves for, and I was like, I don't know if I'm willing to unleash that level of trailer trash on this podcast yet. It's gonna happen because there's gonna be I'm upstairs. It's gonna be a real hot day, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, y'all got to see what y'all got to see. But today wasn't that day. I'm fine. So I chose the Braun Strowman because when it's release day, I got to talk about my favorite releasee. He's got to be.
Do you realize who your co-host is? I'm so poor, I make my own chiladas.
Yeah, listen. Listen, I don't. Neither of us put on a front. All right, the world knows we're not wealthy. The world knows we're not going crazy out here. But I don't know that the world is ready to see this Farmer Tan broadcasted in 4K. This phone is phenomenal. It's revealed things about me I didn't know I had. So, but it'll happen. It'll happen. Probably.
Oh my goodness.
Probably this summer because it's hot. It's hot.
Dude, I just found out today, Cass, I'm throwing you under the bus. I got home today. I started working out, and I'm just dripping sweat. I'm like, I'm only 20 minutes in. What the hell is going on? I go and look at the thermostat, and it says 62, and I'm like, I should be freezing right now. And I look a little bit harder, a little bit closer. Yeah, it's on 62 on heat, not air, heat.
So it wasn't heating the home. We can't throw Cass under the bus. I can't let it happen. All right? That's Cass supports my bullshit arguments too often for me to ever throw her under the bus. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to fight you on that one, and mostly because I am absolutely a jerk about the thermostat. Until one day I was like, I'm done with this thing because you guys drive me crazy, and now my wife runs. She runs the thermostat, so if she sees I'm about to pass out, then she buys me a $9.99. A $9.99 fan from Aldi, and she's like, blow it on yourself. And so, because they love the heat in this house, and I can't.
Really?
Oh, this house is like.
I want to be cold.
All the time. All the time. Like she is.
I want to need a blanket all the time in my house.
I will bring this fan on the next episode. I promise you, it is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. But it was mostly her telling me. Just shut the F up. All right. I only reserve that word for Dirty Dave and Hank Hulk Hogan, but so I'm not going to use it when I'm talking about my wife. But that's what she told me to shut up. She told me to shut up. Take your fan. Yeah, she said, take your fan, go play your stupid video games, and go talk to Tyler. All right, that's what needs to happen.
About
So
what I get. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna be 57 pounds lighter by the time we're done through this summer. You guys are gonna see it on the show. You guys are gonna be like, is that the same shirt he's wore 14 other times? Because it looks like it's gonna because they're smoking me out in this house right now. So
I
right,
couldn't handle it. I knew something was up,
so
dude.
rough.
I looked like I just got out the shower. I was dripping
Oh,
sweat. And I'm like,
oh,
I'm 4 reps in. What's going on?
yeah. Well, for the record though, you were in the mind of gains. Okay, so you were
Yeah.
going, you were going. All
Mm-hmm.
right, but you can't throw Cass under the bus. None of that.
Definitely. I was in the mind of Gaines and Kratom. So I was feeling it.
Don't say kratom. Don't say that is not a word we can use in wrestling world right now. Please don't use kratom.
All
Oh
right.
man.
All right. TNA held their own meeting at their TV taping Saturday. Talent were given a memo announcing $100 fines for instances where slaps are used without an agent's approval or any throat slashing gesture. The meeting was also to express unhappiness that previous memos had been leaked to someone that leaked the information, and the new memo to Fightful Select. Unhappy talent in TNA, and also whoever's leaking shit, still leaking shit because I got the story.
Yeah, they don't care. So wait, when they say slaps, what are they talking about? What are they talking about?
I'm assuming chops or slaps, any sort of open hand, because then they also said throat slashing, and that's
That's what I'm saying. Okay,
that's
so
this, right? That's that.
so I was super excited because I thought they were talking about like the leg slaps that they all do, or like the chest slaps they do when they do super kicks because it's stupid. You know what I'm talking about? So I thought that's what they were talking about, but yeah, the rest
I
of the
don't know.
slaps.
The article didn't specify. I feel like it would have said leg slap.
They would have. I think they would have. Yeah, they would have definitely specified on that. But so in that case, it's all trash. That's weird.
Yeah. Either way, talent was pissed. That's all I know.
Yeah. Well, that's
Um,
they're leaving. They're leaving very fast, and I think Joe Hendry's on his way out. I think he's coming to the WWE full
I
time.
think he just signed like a big deal, dude. I think he's got
Yeah,
like
I
a
think
4-year deal right now.
I was to say I'm pretty sure he's coming full time. Jordan Grace left. I mean, you still have the Nemeth
No,
brothers
he
still.
signed like a 4-year deal, or he has like 4 years left, or something like that with
Oh, with
TNA.
TNA, yeah, I feel like. Oh, damn. Well, that's getting
Which
nuts.
and he's a loyal dude. So
Yeah,
he
I
did
feel. Yeah.
with TNA, and they rewarded him with that championship. He's still showing up. He was at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
but I feel like after this stint, if he's still hot, he's coming. He's coming to
Well,
WWE.
well, now I mean that's crazy because they gave Trick that title. So yeah, Trick
Trick beat
William.
him.
Yeah, Trick beat him. Yeah, that's what I thought for sure. And
I
I,
didn't watch
I
that.
now fully, I am going to tell you 100%. I have no idea about contract status of anybody. So when I talk about things, it's just me saying, "Hey, this is what I see, and this is what I see." Think will
Speculation.
happen. Yeah, it's just speculation. And I looked at that, and I was like, "Oh, he's coming to WWE." I looked at him losing that title to Trick, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, he must be up on his contract. He's coming to WWE." Because Jordan Grace moved right on over, and she
Yeah, she
moved to
did,
WWE.
and I actually have news about her too that we'll get to in a minute. It's good
Yeah,
news,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah.
We'll see then. I didn't know that. I didn't
I
know he
guess
had.
we'll see. I didn't know. I,
Yeah,
I really I didn't watch.
yeah. No, no, no. That's getting crazy. And tonight, I honestly am going to try to talk my poor family into watching a little bit of NXT tonight, but we'll see. Otherwise, I'll
You
watch
know
it
what?
tomorrow.
I'll tune in too. I need to see what the hell's going on down there.
Yeah.
All right. Fightful Select reported the outcome to Double or Nothing's main event was a closely guarded secret backstage, and talent were not informed ahead of time that Hangman Page was winning the Owen Cup. And then in parentheses down here, I wrote empty-headed fucking dumb fuck, in quotations. That's CM Punk on Hangman Page. So
Yeah. Yeah. And ever since CM Punk said that, I am not a CM Punk fan. Ever since he said
what?
that, yeah, no, I'm not. Um,
Oh my god.
you know this. Like I don't hate the guy. All right, I don't dislike. the guy. I'm just not a fan.
Do you agree with this bullshit? Look at this. No,
he would.
He does not agree with you at all.
He wouldn't, but he makes bad decisions. So, but I will say, well, most of this has to do with that 2K25 My Rise Mutiny, that NXT Mutiny thing that I was going through. Me and Punk were beefing in that, so I've got a whole new outlook on him. So,
I played through it 3 times so far.
You have?
Yeah, dude, it's a different outcome every time you unlock other stuff.
Oh, well, no, I don't need to do that.
You can unlock Stone Cold Steve Austin's monster truck entrance.
I know I got
and
that.
Cody Rhodes' throne smashing entrance from AEW. You unlock that too.
I would say that one I don't have. I got the Stone Cold one. That one I got.
You got the Stone Cold one?
Yeah, that one I did get. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. Hey, go ahead with the story.
Something about how like Punk was the best or something like that.
Oh no, it was what he talked about. Hangman Page. I've looked at that man differently ever since I read that quote. And
really?
Honestly, I'm like,
you know that he shot on Punk, right? He went totally off script.
No, I never really watch AEW. Again, just on occasion. So I have no clue about any of that.
Oh, I stand with Punk as usual. So
as usual.
And hey, so does FTR.
They do too.
Anyway, I don't know how they still have jobs in AEW, but PW Insider says WWE was absolutely interested in talking to Willow Nightingale before she re-signed with AEW. That surprised me a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Willow, and this I do know about AEW, is Willow Nightingale is legit. I like Willow Nightingale.
She's over.
She's on.
Yeah.
Every time I watch, she's on. So that's something I wish she would have been able to move over to WWE. But if she's happy where she's at, do your thing, girl.
Yeah. Lord Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio said people within WWE have actually suggested asking fans to not swear during TV shows. He would later add that he doesn't actually expect it to happen. Now, I'm going to show you how dumb Dave Meltzer is. Give me a second here. Tell us how dumb he is. I'm going to find the second part of this article.
Did Dave Meltzer say that?
Dave Meltzer said that.
I would like to speak on behalf of all fans when I say, fuck you, Dave Meltzer.
Adding to the no more swearing chants, Fightful reported that this has already been happening for NXT broadcasts from the Performance Center. Those who continue swearing after being asked not to are told they can be removed, but there is no news of anyone ever being removed after a warning so far. So it's happening in NXT, but just watching Monday Night Raw last night, I don't know how you're going to walk up to, 17,000 people and say, can you stop saying fuck? It's not going to work.
I would like to encourage...
A small crowd like NXT, sure. You can scare a couple people.
That makes sense. Smaller crowds. I would like to encourage wherever SmackDown is this week, we won't get we don't have time, but wherever SmackDown is this week, I would encourage them all to start a chant that says, fuck Dave Meltzer, and just do that as often and as long as you can.
Wouldn't that be great? That'd be great.
Man. I'm telling you right now, highest rated SmackDown of all time, but it would only be 1-star matches. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Only
God.
1-star matches. So.
Did you know Kurt Angle doesn't have a 5-star match, according to Dave Meltzer? Kurt Angle.
Dave Meltzer can kiss that 5-star ass when it comes to Kurt Angle. That dude is quite possibly, and I don't think many people are going to argue with me on this. Some will, but I don't think many will. He's got to be considered one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Like, I'm talking top 5. Easy top 5.
100%.
In my opinion, top 2. He is. And that dude doesn't have a 5-star match, and he worked with probably the other 5. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he did.
Like, it is insane to me to think we're not doing this. We're not doing it. I told you we weren't doing this. We're not doing this. Let's move on.
Jonathan Coachman claimed on Behind the Turnbuckle that he heard Travis Scott flaked on doing a tag team match with John Cena at Money in the Bank, and he also hasn't been training with Booker T anymore.
Because he doesn't care, guys.
I think, no, you know what? I have my own thoughts on this. I think, first off, the amount of shit that Fiend song got for us having to just be tortured by it It's not like Travis Scott doesn't read comments.
Yeah, yeah.
He knows we don't want him there.
Yeah.
He knows we all hate his dumb ass. So, yeah, he flaked because he didn't want to get booed again. He'd rather go and do a concert and have like 5 people get trampled and cheer.
He wants that's crazy. He wants to be with Jey Uso. He doesn't want to be the bad guy. He wanted to do it once. He wanted to punch Cody Rhodes in the face, and then he saw how that happened, right?
Yeah, he missed and hit his ear like a dumbass.
He wants to be the guy with Jey Uso at the top, yeeting, smoking weed, and just I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
We'll bleep that out, hopefully. But yeeting and smoking and just doing whatever he wants to. He doesn't want to be that guy. So the fact that they said he was training anyway, that was crazy to me. It should have been Logan Paul the whole time. This whole situation should have been Logan Paul because it makes more sense with him than it does with.
He's a heat magnet. I get it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like how can you bring the most heat? The only way they could have done it better, which it would have backfired at this point, would have been to bring in Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio, and then have Charlotte Flair be the only person doing promos for you. Like that's the only way to bring more heat. But other than that, Logan Paul's that guy, right? He's the dude that's going to bring the booze, and John Cena's not getting booed. They needed a guy to bring.
He got thank you Cena chance at that last match he had. So
it's an interesting time for them to do this too, because you're starting to see like the twist in him a little bit, and now you're going to bring on the guy.
He's playing it out, dude.
Oh, for sure.
He's playing it up. He's such a good actor. He's showing us that he's starting to like break.
Let's calm down. The Marine. But like, let's calm down on that good actor business.
Hey, Ricky Snicky was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
And for WWE personalities, he is probably Jack Nicholson. But like,
what's wrong with Jack Nicholson?
No, I'm saying that's the top of the top. I'm saying for WWE guys, he's the top of the top. But yeah. But anyway, no, he needed to be booed, and it's interesting that they're doing it now when they're starting to kind of like going back and forth thing. But he needs the booze, and Logan's gonna bring the booze. So.
Fightful Select says there were creative discussions regarding Asuka at the beginning of the year, but that was considered too early, and it's still uncertain when she'll be cleared to return. Note, she has been gone with a knee injury since March 2024, and I also wanted to add this. Asuka is 43. She's not young, so that puts another, like, why is she taking so long to heal?
Well, I think that's exactly why she's taking so long to heal. It's because she's no spring chicken anymore. But, she still can go.
You wouldn't know. She doesn't look 43, and she definitely, her in-ring work doesn't look 43.
No, she could still go. I mean, she may not be, the Empress of Tomorrow anymore. She's got to change her style a little bit, but she can still go.
Yeah, she's the Empress of last Monday. It's not tomorrow anymore.
Empress of a better time.
I feel bad for that. I like her so much.
Oh, I love Asuka. So I mean, I did get a little stale on her towards before she got hurt, but then now that she's been gone, I really do miss her. So
yeah, I agree. The Wrestling Classic was told by Mick Foley that he had a secret meeting with MJF about a retirement match last year that never came to fruition. Foley said he loved the ideas MJF had for what would have been a 6-week program.
Wow.
So, because I remember Mick posting on Twitter and stuff like that he was training to have a retirement match, and then he met with a doctor or something, and they're like, you can't. Your concussion, your everything, you cannot. So this is obviously before he met with any doctors, but can you imagine a program, Mick and MJF?
I think, that'd be. There's other people I'd like to see Mick with before MJF, and there's other people I'd like to see MJF with before I would like to see him with Foley. But if it was those two, it'd be amazing. I think an Undertaker Mick Foley retirement cinematic production would be cool, like he did with AJ Styles, where they can protect Foley, but they can do like some kind of like run through the years and let him work a little bit. But yeah, MJF would have been cool. MJF with anybody from the Attitude Era would be phenomenal.
I agree. The Observer notes there is a lot of banged up guys in AEW coming out of Double or Nothing, including Dave Meltzer's sons, the Young Bucks. So the Young Bucks are hurt right now too.
Wow, that isn't surprising.
No, not at all.
Will Ospreay though, man, that guy. You got anything for him in there?
You mean Logan Paul's brother?
His mouth. He has been running his mouth. That guy.
Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful Select podcast said that, this is a big one, Britt Baker signed a 5-year deal with AEW back in 2021 and also assumes there will be injury time added on to that. Tony, again, this part's me. Tony, again, holding talent hostage like he did with Rey Fenix.
Yep.
They're not using Britt Baker, or they haven't been. She is the best women's wrestler they have, and you are stifling her. Let her go.
You think? This is a question, not accusatory. You think she's better than Monet, right?
Yeah, I do. I kind of think that Mercedes Monet is the drizzling shits. I think she thinks she's better than she is.
Yeah, everybody else, there's a lot of people out there that seem to think she's really great. I agree with you. I don't get the hype, but also I didn't see her during like the beginning of her career. But do you find her better than Timeless Tony Storm or Mariah May?
Yeah, I do.
I guess Mariah May is gone now, but okay. I mean, no,
the two best women wrestlers they have, in my opinion, work wise, is Britt Baker and Chris Statlander.
I forget about Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander's a dog. Yeah, you're right.
Those are the best workers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they've kept her off TV for a long time. She's got that Rey Fenix treatment for sure. So, at least anytime I watch it, you know.
Yeah, no, it's been that way. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with her and Adam Cole not being together, but I have a hard time believing Adam Cole would be like that. But I could definitely see Tony Khan being like that. So
I forgot about him. He's getting added to a list. I forgot about him. I hate that.
Corey Hayes of BodySlam.net says Stephanie Vecchio, as we've already seen as of Monday, and Jordan Grace are both headed to the main roster. Stephanie will be going to Raw. We saw that yesterday. And Jordan Grace is going to be showing up on SmackDown. So let's see if this prediction's right.
But we have a draft coming up. So none of this really matters right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
We should ask Dave Meltzer what that draft is going to be. Or Brian Alvarez. He's been really good at that.
Dave Meltzer, but the draft will be sometime after June 1st and probably before December 31st.
All right. Brian Alvarez said every single person he spoke to at AEW thinks the company's pay-per-views, including Double or Nothing, are running too long. Alvarez, of course, didn't speak to Tony Khan, but said others have tried and told him that Khan just does it, we can't stop it, and there's nothing that can be done. Double or Nothing was 4.5 hours long. Note WWE has kept everything nice and tight, especially under Triple H.
Did Brian Alvarez said that?
I know. I wonder who told it to him.
Is your last piece of news? Brian Alvarez was fired by Dave Meltzer for saying that WWE did something better than AEW. Because that's
that part was me. The part that's me is Double or Nothing was a 4.5 hour show. No, WWE has kept everything. That's me. That's me. That's my own edition.
Okay, that makes sense. I was so confused. I was starting to question who I was as a person there because I was like, holy shit. No. I mean, it's bad enough that I agree with you, but I definitely don't want to agree with Brian Alvarez. So, at least it was you. I agree, they're too long. Those are too long. That's crazy.
Way too long. The July 4th SmackDown will be taped in advance for the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Monday, June 30th, immediately following Raw. So people attending that show are not only getting a Raw, but they're getting a Raw and a SmackDown. So if you live in Pittsburgh and you want a 2-for-1, the show to go to would be June 30th.
And it'll still be an hour and a half shorter than an AEW pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. It's crazy the ones that they choose to like tape before and the ones they choose to tape on is just wild to me. Like,
yeah, it's
July
weird.
4th, July 4th, they're like, yeah, no, you gotta be with your family. But like Christmas, come to work, guys. We're gonna go ahead and smash these Santa Clauses everywhere. So
that's very true.
It's weird.
All right. WrestleVotes Radio claims WWE SmackDown will remain a 3-hour show for the foreseeable future. The original plan was for SmackDown to go back to 2 hours after May 30th, but NBC Universal is happy with how the third hour is doing in the ratings. Talks remain ongoing, and there's still a small chance SmackDown will go back to 2 hours this fall. I don't see it happening. I think it's going to stay 3 hours.
NBC Universal, I know that you guys don't like have well, you probably do have cameras on our TVs. And if you do, look out. Look out from your offices and understand that everybody who's watching your show at that point is sleeping. We are all sleeping. Okay? We're tired. Make it 2 hours.
I'm close to it.
2 hours.
2 hours is the perfect, or even what Raw's been doing. 2.5. 2.5.
2.5 is fine. We are sleeping. We are not watching your show because we choose to. We're watching your show because it's still on TV. All right? We're sleeping. Let us go. Let us go be with our families. Please, SmackDown. Yeah. Let us go.
All right. Votes says NXT is planning to run a show at the 2300 Arena, formerly known as the ECW Arena, in Philly on Tuesday, August 19th. That's 8 days before AEW brings its 2-week residency there on August 27th. You're going to like this. Brian Alvarez thinks WWE is doing this to be annoying and because they can. Well, fuck yeah. It's war.
I mean,
been hanging out with Dave too much.
Yeah, Brian. You gotta step back. You're sniffing that Dave powder a little bit too hard. Of course they are. Just stop saying stupid stuff. Yeah, because they can. That's why they're doing it. Because they can, and nobody's gonna tell them they can't. And Tony Khan hasn't beat them yet. So.
All right. Votes said allegedly Triple H is not a big fan of the Money in the Bank prop as a whole. He doesn't like it at all. I pray to God they never get rid of it, but he doesn't like it.
No, I understand that. I can understand Triple H feeling that way, but that's because it really wasn't a part of his time. You know.
Not really.
He probably values King of the Ring more than he does Money in the Bank, and they can serve the same purpose. So I really don't. I don't have a problem with either. So.
Now this one's going to be wild, and I'm going to tell you right now. I agree with every single wrestling fan out there that knows who Tom Segura is.
Uh-huh.
I think he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
I think his stand-up is good.
Yep.
I think his new show on Netflix, shameless plug, Bad Thoughts, was funny as hell. But the stuff that he's said about wrestling and wrestling fans, I'm going to say right now, I quit watching his podcast. I both of them. I don't watch Two Bears, One Cave. I don't watch Your Mom's House, and I'm sure he doesn't give a flying fuck that I don't watch it. But he has a disconnect with a lot of his fans talking about people being poor, and talking about how much money he has. It's like, that's cool, dude. You got money, whatever. But and brag about it, talk about it, dude. What did you buy? But you don't have to shit on us and call us poor. And if we're wrestling fans, you don't have to say shit like this. Votes was also told that several people in WWE were unhappy about Tom Segura's appearance on Raw that's related to his past remarks where he described pro wrestling as the stupidest shit, and that's for diminished capacity, and referred to anyone who likes it as pathetic and a fucking idiot. It was said to be a Netflix call to have Tom Segura on Netflix. I gotta be honest, I don't feel like a fucking idiot. and ask the last guy who called me pathetic how that went for him. So fuck you, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I fully, I fully support everybody's rights and ability to say whatever the fuck they want to say. Right? Words have never really bothered me all that much. Um, and I happen to disagree with his assessment. I don't think that wrestling fans are all dumb idiots, and wrestling itself is not stupid.
No.
In some ways, it can be some of the most beautiful, amazing stuff that any of us have ever gone through. Some of my most uh, prolific moments in my life revolve around wrestling, and so in that sense, you're wrong. You're wrong, Tom Segura, but it's okay because it doesn't cost you anything to be wrong. You just have to be an idiot, and you happen to be one. In this scenario, I think he's funny in a lot of other places and a lot of other stuff. I didn't really watch his stuff to begin with because both him and Bert Kreischer and kind of that whole genre of comedy, I can only watch it in little bits anyway because it really makes me feel like I have a diminished capacity when I'm done. So I watch it in very small, digestible pieces, and I
Mm-hmm.
save most of my time for the cinematic wonders that is professional wrestling, um, which I could write probably a dissertation on how it is way more impactful to the world and has done way more positive things for the world than Tom Segura ever will. So
Boom.
that's how I feel.
There's your TikTok.
Yeah, you bitch. So,
All right. Fightful Select was told by a WWE employee that if WrestleMania does go to Saudi Arabia, it could possibly be rebranded as Super WrestleMania. And this part's for me. Terrible idea for WWE, disrespectful to the women talent, and talent that disagrees and skips all the Saudi shows already. So you're going to make the biggest show of the year in Saudi, where the blood money is. Guys like Punk aren't going to wrestle there. Do you think the women are comfortable wrestling in surf suits? Dude, stop going to Saudi.
I'll put it to you like this: you do this, and Tom Segura is correct at least about the company. So
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say about that. But the only way they're not gonna do it, the only way they're not gonna do it is if people truly show the displeasure and are willing to actually say we're not gonna watch your product anymore and we're not gonna do your stuff anymore if you do this. Otherwise, of course they're gonna go where the money is. Why would they not? But people got to say no. So, and you gotta get some talent. You gotta get some real top tier talent to say, hey, we're not doing this. We're not going over here. We're not going to do this. If you don't get that, they'll keep doing it because there's a lot.
Well, think about it. You already have a guy like Punk saying he's not going. Think a few years back, Daniel Bryan wouldn't go.
Yeah,
there's a lot of guys that will not go and won't be bullied into going.
I guess I don't know. Sammy went. Sammy did go. Yeah, Sammy did end up going. But yeah, no, there's a lot of guys that are like that, but it's got to be the top. It's got to be everybody at the top. Not everybody, but it's got to be. You got to get Roman to say no. You got to get Sammy to say no. You got to get Cody to say no. You have to get John to say no. You won't, but you have to. You have to get those guys to say no. Otherwise, I mean, Punk is the top so far that has said no for sure.
Yeah.
But it's got to be the Punk of 2010 to say no. You know what I mean? It's got to be that Punk.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Punk who's got 30 years left. So Cody or Roman, they have to say no. Otherwise, it's going to happen.
I agree. It can't happen. The Wrestling Observer newsletter, and you know who that is. I'm not going to say his name anymore. Says the reason why Ricky Saints lost his championship on NXT this week is because he is expected to join the main roster.
Oh, well, okay. That'd be cool.
Do you think Ricky Saints is going to be taking that big of a jump over Ethan Page? Javon Evans?
Javon Evans, I think, is up. So now they said the other day with Javon Evans, it was his debut match on SmackDown. So I haven't seen anything definitive that says like he's moved up, but they generally they reserve that language for when they're actually coming up. But I don't know. I do say the reason I wouldn't see an Ethan Page move up yet is because they don't have a guy to replace him. They just don't. They don't have like that really good bad guy to replace an Ethan Page yet. And then Javon Evans, he would fit right. He'd fit in nice and kind of a scrum of things. You know what I mean? Oba Femi, same reason I don't see him moving quite yet is they don't have a guy to replace him. They just got but there are a couple guys, like there's the one guy that came from the LFG that's this big bruising monster of a guy. He may replace Oba and kind of push him out and push him up, but we'll see.
Yeah, I am curious what's going to happen with this draft. Who's coming up? Who's staying down? Who we're going to agree with? Who we're going to disagree with? Who we think are going to carry and cross when they move them up? If you remember the reference.
Oh, I remember. And also, who's going to wash out right away? Because there's going to be a lot of those guys that move up, and then they're just guys and girls that move up, and they're gonna wash them out. They're not gonna. Which happened to quite a few of the call ups, in the last few years. So.
All right. According to the Observer, Dave, people who are close to Alberto Del Rio are saying everything is fine between him and WWE, and he's going to be back in WWE eventually. I just put bullshit next to it. That's what I wrote. Yeah. You're going to believe Alberto Del Rio, who has lied about going back to WWE 4 times now to press. He didn't come back. In fact, the last thing I saw of him before his AAA run was him wrestling in a school gymnasium with 16 people in the crowd.
Yep.
Dave, I'm starting to think Dave just backs people that he knows everybody doesn't like so he can be edgy and relevant, him and his gray hair, but I don't think so, Dave.
He does wear one hell of a t-shirt.
Yeah, he does. He does have nice tits, too, I will say that.
Never seen him. Never had the pleasure.
Well, you can see him through the shirt. He wears white shirts all the time. Anyway, one also says that Del Rio's incident with El Hijo del Vikingo's father on Venga La Alegra was all an angle, and everyone had agreed to it. However, the story blew up in Mexico, and non-wrestling and non-sports media covered it thinking it was real. So, I mean, I'll give them this. Good work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, nobody's ever talked about the guy's ability to work. That's not his problem. His abilities to ring have never come into question. Not his problem. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, just keep your hands off people, maybe.
Yeah, maybe leave the nose candy alone. I don't know. Allegedly, you can't sue me.
Allegedly.
You can't sue me for all 17 of my figures. You can't do it. Can't have them.
Allegedly.
Sorry. Numbnuts Dave Meltzer says Tessa Blanchard is expected back soon after suffering a legit jaw injury in TNA's Under Siege. Wonder what racial slur she yelled to hurt her jaw.
I was gonna say, fuck Hulk Hogan, even the female ones. So that's just how I feel about that. Man, I've gotten all the hits in today. Dave, Hogan, Albert.
I'm getting heat today, and I don't know if I want it, but I'm here for it. So
yeah, it's okay.
And this one is going to bleed into our last story, but in an emotional post on social media, Abaddon confirmed a rumor that their AEW contract will not be renewed when it expires in June. Remember, Abaddon is a AEW original. It's pretty sad. And to continue the sad news, if you didn't see today, so when you people are watching this, it'll be tomorrow, Valhalla was just released. Carlito has less than 2 weeks on his contract, and he was told he will not be re-signed. WWE got rid of R-Truth. I don't have words to say about what a terrible decision it is to get rid of a vet of, I think it's 17 or 18 years.
It's like 20 years.
It's especially, he just had a match against Cena at Saturday Night's Main Event. He's been in storylines constantly. Remember the Judgment Day angle? He just started bringing back Little Jimmy. Well, this week or this last week.
Yep.
This is a terrible decision by Triple H, and honestly, who I think is pulling Triple H strings and is getting more control over him than people realize is TKO. And TKO fucking suck. Dude, they're terrible. Let's double the prices on everything. We need to cut costs here and there. Why? You're making the most money in the company's history. Why do you need to make cuts to anything? It makes no sense. And you're going to say it's due to cost cuts, that you're going to get rid of a gem like R-Truth. Valhalla hasn't been on TV for a while. We've all been wanting her back. Who's next? The War Raiders? Hell, I heard The Miz stop following WWE. His contract's up in July. Is he next? You going to get rid of him too? Dude, it's getting out of fucking hand.
Yeah, I mean, they aren't the biggest releases that we've ever had, right? I think they're just the most emotional. And I think they're the most emotional because you have somebody like R-Truth who is never been anything but comic relief, and that's disrespectful, but I'm saying it in a way of like he has always been comic relief for us, right? He's always been the guy that's come on and been able. You see R-Truth and you always smile, no matter what he's doing, you're gonna smile. Same with Carlito, I'd add. Carlito's that same guy. You know, whatever he's doing, he's gonna make you smile. Valhalla had a real rough shake. But none of those are the hugest, biggest, craziest releases we've ever had. The problem is the reasoning behind the releases, right? And the things that they're doing. So when you're paying Travis Scott, whatever you're paying him, and you're putting all that stuff on, and you're paying these Tyrese Halliburtons and some of these other guys, the stuff that you're paying, which that one worked out, luckily. And you're paying the Logan Pauls, and you're paying you're paying a lot of these people, but you're not going to pay the stalwarts of the company, those people that have always kind of kept it moving on the undercard. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. It's dumb. It doesn't make much sense. I mean, every business out there does this. It's stupid. Every big business, I should say.
Yeah.
The difference is these are people we have grown to care about, and it shows the impact that wrestling has. Fuck you, Tom Segura, because I don't feel this way about many other things in my life that I'd get upset. This rocked my household when it happened, when R-Truth was released.
My wife almost started crying.
It was like, what the heck? That is such a rare occurrence in our society today. So, it sucks. But at the same time, I do believe that there's a place for those people to come back if they wanted to. We'll see what happens. I mean, God, it sucks. It does suck. But at the same time, we haven't seen Valhalla in forever, so we're not really missing much. It sucks that she's gone, but we're not missing anything there. Even Carlito says that he owes the WWE money, and R-Truth is legitimately almost 60 years old. So
he's only 53.
Okay, 55 years old. All right, the
guy doesn't age though. He doesn't age.
But his body does, and eventually he's got to slow down. So I'm hoping they give him that same Braun Strowman situation, right? Where they say, hey, your body's broken down a little bit. We can't keep paying you. Because I heard they offered him a contract and he said no, right? They offered him a contract. Yeah, they offered him one, but it was low, way low. And he said no, right? Which makes sense. I mean, if you think you're worth more, but then maybe he comes back on a Legends contract and he does stuff every now and again and he can do his own thing. I don't know. But it's gonna get worse. They're gonna get rid of other people, and some of them are gonna suck.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to top big meaty man. Meat men.
I love that. Top big meaty man, meat men. I did want to say though, really quick, I do hope Adnan gets an opportunity to do something cool because I wanted to see that character. I never got to see that character play out. So, Abaddon, I really want to see that.
They never had them on TV ever. No. It was always AEW Dark on YouTube.
Yeah, and I want to see it.
Not only a great talent, but a misused great talent, i.e. Danhausen as well.
Oh, Danhausen. It shows that it happens everywhere, guys. It happens. And then those people don't get renewed. And I think it's important to understand that they didn't get released. They just didn't get renewed, and that there's a distinction there. They fulfilled their contract, But anyway, big meaty man.
All right. Top big meaty man, meat men. Number 10, for me, for favorites, for love, I went with Umaga.
Ooh, he's on my list. That's my number 8. All right.
That's your number 8. Okay.
Yep. And I'm gonna say Big Meaty Men, close and dear to my heart, as a big meaty man myself. Okay, so this is a personal countdown for me. So you can disagree with me, but you'd be wrong. Number 10, Big Daddy V. I love Big Daddy Viscera, man. I loved it.
Which version?
All of them. Honestly, I just absolutely
You
loved.
loved all of them?
I loved Big Daddy V. I love Viscera. I love. Now, granted, I don't say that all the characters were great, but I loved
What
him.
about, because he also played Mabel. Did you
know,
like Mabel?
I know. I didn't mind Mabel either. It was a little weird. It was a goofy kind of character for me, but I liked him. You know what I mean? So it was like, no matter how he showed up on the screen, that was the one that I was like, oh, should I nitpick this one? And I was like, nah, I just like the guy. But he's number 10 for that reason too, though.
Okay. Number 9, I went with Rikishi.
Oh, that's my number 7.
Rikishi's my childhood, dude. The stink face.
Yeah, I love Too Cool. Too Cool was pretty much.
Too Cool.
I thought I was a member of Too Cool. So
I think we all did. We were all wearing those breakaway pants in our living room, wearing sunglasses, trying to do the dance, and the worm.
Oh man, the worm. That was also Marissa's number 1. Rikishi. She wanted me to mention.
Was Rikishi? All right.
That was her number 1 big guy, and I was like, not me. She's like, no, you're trash, Rikishi. She's like, you don't even crack the top 10. Are we on number 9? My number 9.
You're on 9.
Yeah, One Man Gang, specifically One Man Gang.
Okay, and I know why, and the reason why is on my other list. So.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Okay. Number 8, Big Van Vader. I've always been a Vader fan.
Yep. He's my
Leon White? Come on. He bangs.
Yeah, I loved my number 3. Number 3 for me. So, you got to
tell me a guy besides Mick Foley with that amount of toughness and Terry Funk. I swear to God, it goes Funk, Mick, Vader. Vader had his eyeball pop out of his head mid-match. It's on YouTube. Go look it up. Yep, this dude takes 4 fingers and pushes it back in, and he finishes the match. That's a bad ass.
My number 5 would argue a little bit, but I still think Vader's ahead. That's why he's my number 3. So, all right. I agree with you. Vader's a badass man. You got your number 7.
And I got to add, and a total fucking gentle sweetheart, and Shawn Michaels made him cry once backstage for picking on him. Fuck you, Shawn. Anyway.
7.
Number 8, you're up.
No, I'm done. Umaga was my 8.
Oh, it's gone already, huh?
Yep.
Okay, number 7, Mark Henry. World's strongest man.
That's my number 1, baby. Mark Henry.
That's your number 1?
He is arguably, it would be much arguably, but he's my top 3 favorite wrestler of all time. So,
I love Mark. There's so much I can say. Sexual Chocolate brought me so much fucking happiness. I don't wish I would have ever said that in my life. In a sentence. But
you're welcome.
Then you have to think, he totally reinvented himself with the World's Strongest Man.
Yes.
Became I was more scared of him than Big Show at the time.
He was, as well you should have been, because that man's a bad man. So Mark Henry is, in my opinion, he is one of the GOATs of this game, and he's one of the first ever crossover, like major big dudes crossing over. I mean, him, Kurt Angle, and those guys were kind of all around that same front. I think Mark Henry was a little bit before Kurt Angle even. So
he was. Also, I want to add about Mark. He is legitimately the world's strongest man. And if you look up on YouTube or watch his documentary that's on Peacock, he is the first person, I believe, to ever lift that impossible dumbbell up over his head one-handed.
Yeah, and he did. He also had the squat record for a long time until oh my goodness, Ray Williams, my main man Ray Williams, broke that record. I was really hoping to get better at squats to try to get up into that zone, but these guys are doing like 1,000-pound squats, like it's crazy.
I remember that one time you did the 10,000 pound day or whatever.
It was 100,000
pound day. Yeah. You could not walk the next day. I thought it was great.
No, that was one of the
I was like, I'm not doing that. You're like,
no,
I'm
that was
doing
one of
it.
the that was one of the best worst decisions I've ever made in my life. But that's what launched my whole like I want to be the best deadlifter. Thank you, Eddie Hall. But I wanted to be
Eddie
like the
Hall is a
man.
man.
Oh, I love Eddie Hall, but Ray Williams. Ray Williams is the squat guy now, but before him, it was Mark Henry. Mark Henry was legitimately the world's strongest man at one point. And I am such a big fan. So
He'll still fuck you up.
absolutely, yeah. Did you number 7 already?
Number 7, that was
That was
Mark Henry. No.
all right. So you're up for 6.
Jesus. Going right down your list. Number 6, Bam Bam Bigelow.
He made my honorable mentions because he's up there. Especially I used to play with him in the video games all the
time. He was the first big dude I ever saw do a moonsault. He was so light on his feet, he reminded me of the wrestling version of Chris Farley. Just because Chris Farley was so light on his feet and agile, that was the badass version of Bam Bam Bigelow.
I agree.
I love going back and watching his matches against Bret Hart. Bam Bam is just man, and he is the only person that can put Lawrence Taylor in a wrestling ring and make him look like $1 million.
I'll say and make it happen. Like put him through it.
Yeah.
No, Bam Bam's legit.
Bam Bam is legit.
My number 6 was Earthquake. Always loved Earthquake.
Okay.
Always loved Earthquake. So
he's really, on my honorable mentions.
Honestly, the natural disasters as a whole, but Earthquake especially was my favorite of the two. So.
Yeah, and John Tenta as a human being was such a gentle soul and an ex-professional sumo wrestler. He also played as Golga. Just an awesome guy, awesome worker, and God, fuck WCW for making him be the Shark. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that was stupid. 5.
Yokozuna.
That is my number 4. So thank you for taking care of that for me.
Yokozuna scared the ever-living shit out of me when I was a kid. Yeah. And I didn't know he wasn't Japanese until I was like 22.
Still not going to believe he's not. I'm pretty sure he's Japanese, and we're just going to let it be. I don't care who he's related to. And I don't care what family tree you show me he's on. That's a Japanese man in my eyes. So
dude, had me fooled for like 16 years, man.
I look at him now, and I'm like, why did I ever believe that? Like,
I know!
That is just that's what makes me question. Like, I'm not a flat earther or somebody who doesn't believe that somebody got put on the moon. I'm not that guy. But now I'm like, I thought Yokozuna was Japanese. They very well could have filmed the moon landing. I don't fucking know.
It probably didn't help that I grew up in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and we didn't have Japanese people there, so I didn't know what a Japanese person looked like when I was that young.
You did have lining kugels, so.
Yeah. We did. It's gone now.
Not anymore, though. That's a touchy subject.
Bye, Liney's kids. Remember being dicks in high school? Anyway.
Yep. My number 5 is Abdullah the Butcher, who is the one person who could probably hang with the Vaders and Mick Foley's of the world. So
him in a fork is a scary thing.
I would poop myself if I saw Abdullah the Butcher coming anywhere near me with a fork. So even though he's probably just going to carve himself up. So.
That's true. Number 4, I went with Kevin Owens.
Okay, I didn't add him onto my list, and I should.
He's still a big boy. He's a big boy.
Should have. He is.
He was the cutoff point though. Any smaller, no.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. Yeah, no, I didn't go that small, but also yes, yeah, I'm with you.
I shouldn't have to explain why Kevin Owens is awesome. So
nope, no need.
All right,
you're on number 3 already because I got Vader for mine. Oh,
okay. Number 3, I went with Bray Wyatt.
Again, I didn't add in my list, but I absolutely, yeah.
Again, he's at that cutoff point. He's a big dude, and if you thought Bam Bam could move, go back and watch a Bray Wyatt match from 2015.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Shit, watch one from 2019 as The Fiend.
Yep.
He's just unbelievably athletic. Hard hitting, but one of the safest workers and one of the nicest human beings on the planet, and it's a shame that we lost him. So, that's my number 3.
Yep, I agree. You're on to 2.
Mick Foley.
I didn't add him on my list. Again, he's just at that cutoff point for me too. Like I
The
thought Mick
cutoff point.
Foley's he's a big dude, but I didn't look at him as like a big dude. But again, it's the way that he conducted himself and he held himself. Like he didn't really he flew through the air. Granted, he normally had people throwing him, but I mean, like I mean, he was just flying through the air all the time. And I
Yep.
never really, until I got older, I never looked at Mick Foley as a big guy. It's only when I got older that I was like, oh, he was kind of a chubbier guy. As a kid, I looked at Mick Foley as like a normal looking dude. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that fits. Who's your number
But
two?
I agree. Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is my
Bronson
number two.
Reed.
Yeah,
Bronson Reed made my honorable mentions.
I let him be my sole. I think, yeah, my sole representative of the main roster. I thought about guys like Otis. I thought about Eric and Ivar, and I thought about
So did I.
a few others. But Bronson Reed to me really exemplifies what these people on this list do. Their athleticism, his athleticism is through the charts. There is zero reason he should be able to do some of the stuff he does. And I know a lot of it is just jumping off ropes and falling on people, but that takes effort and athleticism to be able to get up there to do his thing. So
not only that, but his character.
For sure.
His character work is phenomenal.
Yep. I like him. So Bronson Reed is my number two, and I've already said my number one was Mark Henry. So
my number one is Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Oh man,
Bionic elbow, baby.
He should have been on my list. I didn't think about him. Gosh, that's a good one.
He's the best big man. Like
again,
I mean, his in-ring was good. It's great.
Yeah.
But his mouth. He's the only person of that era that could even hang with Flair.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you ask me, he beat Flair in every promo. If you ask me, I think Dusty's promos are better than Flair's promos. That's just
I 1,000% agree with that. I don't look at him as a big guy because he didn't wrestle as a big guy. You know what I mean? Like he didn't wrestle big. He wrestled like a brawler. And I guess that's more of what I meant about some of these guys. They just didn't wrestle big. You know, like Mark Henry didn't wrestle big. He wrestled like a brawler. You know, or not Mark Henry. I'm sorry, Foley.
Yeah, Foley was a brawler. Bray would pick people up and throw them, though. Bray worked bigger than he was.
Bray sometimes worked big, sometimes didn't, but Bray could do other stuff. I just didn't view them as like – I don't view Kevin Owens in the same weight class that I do Umaga, even though they probably are exactly the same. But it's just that their work way is different, you know? So
okay.
Yeah, so I'm working on all of those. I just did not think of them.
And then I want to go through my honorable mentions real quick. Bronson Reed, Viscera, Otis, the Blue Meanie, the Ugandan Giant Kamala, Abdullah the Butcher, Afa, Sika, Earthquake, Typhoon, King Kong Bundy, Ivar, and Balls Mahoney. I think all deserve a tip of the cap.
Mine were Gorilla Monsoon, Big Show, and then the guy that inspires all the big meaty men slapping meat, Big E himself. I know he is not a big dude. I would never disrespect him in that, but that's our big boy. All right, he's thick 2Cs. Big E counts. Nobody has those thighs unless they're a big dude. So
I did keep Andre and Big Show off my list because I thought they fit more in a giant category.
I would agree with you on Big Show also on that. I threw him in there because Big Show ate Big Show at one point in his career.
Dude got 500 some pounds at one point.
He was a big old man.
He's big.
So
big.
I'll start with my fives. My five was Giant Kamala was number 5. Number 5. And the only reason Giant Kamala was number 5 was because of how much I love just Kamala. So
he's your number 5 hated?
Yeah.
Ugandan Giant Kamala.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Bastion Booger.
That's my number 2 hated. Because he freaked me out.
How gross of a name and how disgusting do you have to be eating like a turkey leg and just I felt sick. And I am somebody, if I get food on my own face, I get queasy. And if I see it on someone else's, I need to leave the room.
I hate it.
I understand I have children. I can't watch them eat. Can't do it.
He's the reason I have the food issues I do now when it comes to people eating. I hated that man. He should be my number 1, and the only reason he isn't is because the guy that's there. But Duh. What am I, fucking Dave Meltzer now? But yes, two is Bastion Booger for me. So I'm with you on that one. I'll go number 4. My 4 is Odyssey Jones, and the reason is because I wanted to love him. I wanted Odyssey Jones to be my next Mark Henry, and fair or not, it got cut short. And I don't know what part of that was his fault, what part of it was just accusations.
Oh, dude got it for domestic, I believe.
Yeah, but I may have seen somewhere that it turned out that wasn't the case, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. After I heard that, it was never reported on anything that I read or watch again. So
yeah, and I
it was cool though, and I was for it. I was for the ride. And that sucks. Yeah,
I wanted Odyssey Jones, so that's why he's on my list because I'm mad about it. So
number 4 for me is Brodus Clay.
that's
Funkasaurus
for me.
Dude, if I was 6, all right.
Yep.
But the vignettes were the next monster. You're gonna be scared of him, and then he comes out fucking dancing and singing and shit. What the fuck is this?
And then, so he's my number 1 because not only was that stupid, but then he became a talking person like us.
Yeah.
But
in politics.
But he just said dumb shit all the time. So
I don't know his politics, but I know he's on like CNN or Fox or whatever all the time.
I think it's like he's on like Fox and stuff. But yeah, as Tyrus, I've never been a fan of him. I thought he just I look at him as a rage baiter. He's the kind of guy that just says shit to piss people off. Just like somebody that should be on this list if he was just a little bit chubbier. But what's his name? God dang it. What's his name for the he craps on WWE all the time now. He says he'll never come back, even though literally nobody wants him back.
Ryback.
Ryback, yes. He's very similar to Ryback.
That's what you had to say.
I'm so glad you picked that up.
Dude, but he was a dick to me on Twitter once after because I was a big fan of Ryback. Meat on the Table is one of my favorite songs. It's on my gym mix.
It's a great song. Yeah.
Dude, I would message him and I'd show him my workout progression and everything else. And then one day he was, I don't know if he was having a bad day or what. Total fucking dick to me. It was before me and Cass were even married, but he was just a total dick. And I was like, fuck this guy. Now I see why everybody hates him.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. So him and Tyrus or Brodus Clay, I put him in the same category. My number 3.
I mean, honestly, you sit there, Ryback, and okay, go watch Table for 3 on WWE's on Peacock on the WWE part, and you'll see, I believe it's Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan picking on Ryback the entire dinner. Dude, you had heat in the back because you're a dick, not because you were an easy target or because you're a fucking a lovable soul. It's because you're a dick and you're dumb.
Of you. They weren't jealous of you, and that's what
they're definitely not jealous of you now.
No. All right, my number 3, Akeem.
Hold on,
and I hate him.
Go do a mukbang, fuckface. All right, now go.
Now go. Number 3, Akeem, and I know that Akeem and One Man Gang
are two
people, but I hate Akeem because that was the racist shit I've ever seen in my entire life, and he knew it. He didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it,
and I am not blaming him for this. I'm blaming the WWE for this.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon for this. Akeem was the dumbest shit ever. So
the same guy who put Dusty Rhodes in polka dots thinking he was punishing him, and he got fucking polka dots to be the coolest thing in America.
Yeah, got over.
But yeah, Akeem the African Dream, same thing as mine. And Vince says, well, Dusty needed somebody to work.
Shut up.
So have him work literally anybody. You don't got to make a fucking cartoon character, especially a racist one.
Yeah, that was dumb. All right, you're up.
Number 2, the Nasty Boys, Jerry Saggs and Brian Knobbs can both fuck off, you Hogan boys.
I hated the Nasty Boys. I'm with that too.
I hate them. I didn't like any of their matches. Never thought they were cool. Never thought they were nasty. And then when I grew up and saw that they, especially fucking Brian Knobbs was sucking the tea to Hulk Hogan, just a yes man for him, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Jerry Saggs kind of gets a little bit of a break because I don't think he's such a Hogan boy, but Brian Knobbs is Hulk Hogan's best friend. Fuck you, dude.
Number 1.
Ugh.
My number 2 is Bastion.
Okay, number 1.
Yeah, number 1. Oh, you. I went. Brodus Clay was my number 1.
Oh, that's your number 1.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm out. It's all you, bro.
All right. Now, hear me out before you get upset. Hear me out.
Maybe.
Big Daddy V. But it's the gimmick. World's largest love machine. Remember when he was coming out in the sweatsuit and humping people?
Yeah, like the purple suede.
And he'd lay on them, and his finisher was he'd just hump them.
Yeah.
I thought, and again, I love Viscera. Viscera, Ministry of Darkness, he would have been number 11 if there was an 11 spot here. And he was awesome. He was a good worker, but it's literally just the world's largest love machine. I was like at that tweener age of like just starting to get ball hair. This made me so fucking uncomfortable to see.
So I would agree with you because I feel the same way about Val Venus, and I felt the same way about Sexual Chocolate, and I felt the same way about the Edge and Lita thing. So I agree with you. Over-sexualized characters on TV just never were my thing. Even when I was a kid. Didn't like it. So, but you're not supposed to like that when you're a kid, so that's why it's not supposed to be out there.
And Sexual Chocolate was happening when I was so young, I didn't get it. I thought they were saying who knows what, but I didn't get it. I just thought he was in love with China.
Right.
This is like I'm watching wrestling with my mom and dad, not having the talk yet, and I'm watching this big, giant, burly man pound a guy into the mat in a very sexual way. So,
well, listen, we went real long today, my man. We went real long.
God damn it, we were supposed to go short.
We went real long. So, you want to get?
I told you I had a lot of news.
I know. I underestimated how much you had. You want to? That's all right though, man. It was good news. We had good news this week.
It was good news.
Do you want to do a shot? You still got one in you, and we can get out of here and talk to
No, I don't. I'll show what it is, and I'll do it. Awesome. I'll do it Sunday.
We'll save it. Yeah.
He wants me to do another 99 shot, and the only reason I'm saying no right now is because I did the first 99 shot, and this one's called whipped cream.
Yeah,
I can't do it, dude. I will also
get a 99 shot for Sunday to do that with you, and I will get whatever. Damn it, what's their name again?
Trinity. I'm sorry.
Trenner.
Trenner. What did we go with?
Trenner.
I think it was Trenner.
It was Trenner. So, and I will also do whatever Trenner tells me to do. So.
Or Gunnity.
Yeah, I think Trenner is what we went with.
Yeah, Trenner's better.
We'll run it back. We may switch it up. It's been a long
time. He's so
time.
fucking mad right now.
It's been a long time. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Get us on all the socials. Kayfabe.marks on TikTok. It's Kayfabe.marks podcast, I believe. Or no, it's Kayfabe. I don't know, man. Look us up. Kayfabe Marks podcast. It's all on there. The link tree's around. So you can find us, email us, do all the good stuff.
TikTok, Kayfabe.marks.
That's what it was.
It's the only one that's got a dot, but
the rest
as long as you don't forget the dot, you'll find us.
Oh, I almost went straight.
1,200 other people found us, so I think you'll be able to find us.